What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Lungile. Welcome to the Unhard Podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about what it takes to run a modern video production company. This is a mega episode, so stay tuned in. It's going to be very long and very detailed. Okay, this is part 2, and cool. Let's get into it. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about running a modern video production company. Okay, so I have like five years of running my own video production company, and I've worked for others, and I just thought I'd share tips that I know. Okay, cool. So first of all, there's different types of video production companies. There are companies that specialize in creating advertising content, like commercials. Some specialize in doing digital content. Some specialize in making television content, like TV shows. Some actually just specialize on dockies only. Some companies only specialize in making sports dockies. I've seen some companies that are very successful in this genre. There are companies that focus on music videos, and being a niche company actually helps them stand out, and it also helps them charge more because they are the best at that thing. Because I've never really seen a company that does everything, whether it's commercials, music videos, ads, TV, reality shows, and dockies, and they're very successful. It's very rare. Even though they do different different things, they never really. I've never seen one that does everything, and they're very successful. So when you're starting your company, you have to think about what niche do you want to focus on. Do you want to focus on television shows? Do you want to focus on reality shows? Do you want to focus on dockies? Do you want to focus on branded content or advertising? So you have to pick your battle so that you can be able to be competitive in the market. So that's something that you need to think about. Okay, so you have to think about what's the genre or style or the target audience that you want to capture and or make content for. I know there are companies that make content for youth target market. So all their content is for brands that focus on youth and stuff, and it's very vibey, colorful, MTV type style, and they are very successful at it. So that's something you need to think about if you are wanting to start your company, or if you've started your company already. Okay, cool. So the next thing after you've decided what you want to niche on, you need to have a business plan. You need to make a list in terms of how you are going to make money. I've seen so many people struggle, and I've also struggled because I've realized in my company I only had one revenue stream, which was like per project basis stuff. So when you have a business plan, you're obviously listed in terms of who are the people in the market, how are you going to be different, how are you going to stay competitive, and how are you going to make revenue in different ways, not just from working on projects, but you can sell digital products, you can sell stock footage. You have to think about how you are going to make money. And it's very good to have multiple ways that you are going to be making money. One thing I want to do is also sell stock footage, because I've just seen like there's like a big need for African stock footage. So that's something I want to generate revenue in. I also, for my company, I know I shoot, I write, I pitch commercials, I work on ads, I work on dockies, I also do a lot of editing. So it's a lot of stuff, but I need to also pick something that I want to specialize in terms of what that thing is or what that genre is, in order so that I can be the best at that thing. So I can also be able to charge a price premium. Okay? So, yeah. So these are the things you need to think about in your business plan. What are your company goals, your target market, who your main customers are going to be, your budget, your revenue streams, what are they going to be, how are you going to grow the company? You need your financial projections. I know as creative people, we don't like to think about business, but we just have to learn to do that, because thinking about business helps us make money. You can't just say, I'm a creative, I just want to get hired. We really need to think about how you're going to make money. So obviously, like, I'm sure you can find a business plan template somewhere online, and that can help you sort of like plan how you plan to position your company. How do you want to be competitive? How are you going to stay competitive? How are you going to differentiate yourself from all the other companies out there? Because there's a lot of companies. Okay. The next thing I've noticed is that you need to build a team. So you need, obviously, when you're first starting out, you obviously can't hire people. You don't have enough revenue, but eventually you're going to have to start hiring people. I had the opportunity to hire interns, and it really did help me take on more work and like make more money and stuff. But it's a lot of work, but it was really, really worth it. Uh, I do a lot of work for a lot of bigger companies, and they have really specialized, skilled people. You know, people that specialize in different things, whether it's a technical side in terms of editing, in terms of shooting, in terms of administrative roles, workflow, producers, production managers, traffic controllers. So you're gonna need to start hiring people. Maybe a good thing to think about is like, if you're still a young company, you can start hiring interns that specialize in certain things. You know, maybe they can grow into those roles, because also as a company owner, you can't do everything. Sometimes you actually need to get people that are better than you at doing certain things, because you can't be good at everything. So sometimes you might need a producer, sometimes you might need a director, sometimes you might need a copywriter or a writer. So you need to start developing your need for like working with different people that are skilled in different ways. Sometimes maybe, okay, if you can't hire interns, hire freelancers. Some of them come in and they do the thing and they're out, and they're very good at what they do. Sometimes I've hired editors, I've hired people that that shoot like DOPs and stuff, and they've really helped me. Where I'd go on a shoot and I know I'm not even gonna shoot that much, because I know I'm gonna be focusing on delivering work for the client, talking to clients and stuff like that. So you don't have to hire someone like permanent, but you can start freelance, or you can get interns. But that's something that you just have to do if you really want to have a successful company. You need a great team. You need to have a great team spirit. You also need to invest a lot into the people that you hire. Even if you hire interns, you gotta talk to them, ask them what they want to do, how you can help them grow. You need to reinvest in them, buy them courses. I really believe that you need to give more to them than they give to you, because the better they get, the more they contribute to the company. You know, so I think if you want to be a leader and grow your company, you're gonna have to stretch yourself and like leave your comfort zone. So yeah, another thing is you're gonna have to invest in technology and equipment. You're gonna have to start buying gear. You have to buy laptops, computers, editing software, or all the things that have to do with your industry. You know, you're gonna have to buy a server. You know, I know all this equipment is very expensive. I'm currently working for a very big production company right now, and they have so much stuff. They've got like 9 computers, they've got audio suites, and all those things are expensive. Like an editing machine costs like 50K. And imagine that they have like 9 of those, and they have like big machines for their audio mixes and their final mix engineers. So it's a lot. But I mean, you don't have to start there, but you can start where you can. So getting a decent 4K camera that maybe shoots stills and video. You know, next thing you buy like a laptop, or editing laptop, or an editing PC. Next thing you can get like a NAS, which is a network attached storage, which is like where you store all your projects. Because as you work on a lot of projects in your production company, you're going to need a lot of space. So having a NAS server is really like very key. Even though, yes, it's expensive, but it just helps you so that you don't have a shit ton of hard drives. And also it also helps you because each project is like 100 gigs or 200 gigs, sometimes 500 gigs. And sometimes you have to keep it for like a few months before you can delete the footage. Because client might always come back and say, hey, we want this project. Can you please give us changes on this, you know? Next thing, you have to invest more in technology in terms of software. You're going to need editing software. You're going to have audio mixing software like Pro Tools, editing software like Premiere, Final Cut, and DaVinci Resolve. And luckily, Resolve is free, so you can edit in Resolve. You can also color grade in Resolve. It's very, very good. So that's one thing you can do for your company. The next thing is you're going to have to network and establish relationships in the industry. You're going to have to establish relationships with suppliers. You're going to have to establish relationships with like festivals, industry events. You know, you need to build your rep. You know, you need to get your name out there. You need to build relationships with like suppliers in terms of your rental companies, your talent agencies. Sometimes you might need to hire a voiceover artist. Sometimes you might need to hire models. So it's good to reach out to these people now and say, hey, I run this video production company. I want to build a relationship with you. How can I start working with you in terms of hiring your models or your voiceover artists, opening rental accounts with different rental companies, because they also help. Sometimes you don't have to buy a red camera, you can just hire it from them. So it's nice to do these things before you need them. So build those relationships, whether it's building relationships with distributors, potential clients, potential collaborators, potential freelancers. I have a thing where I have a list of freelancers that specialize in different things, and all these freelancers have different rates, they have different skills. So I'm always adding people that I think do great work, whether they're a DP or an editor or an animator or a producer or a production manager or or a makeup artist or a production designer. I'm always like looking on social media what people are working on and reaching out to people and saying, hey, if I want to work with you in the future, how can I go about doing that? How do you like to work? What's your rate? And then I talk to them, then I add it to the list so that I know by the time I get a big job and I need to do a big project, I know I have people that I'm going to work with. And it also helps to like have 1 to 5 of each role. So maybe like 5 freelance editors, 5 producers, 5 directors, 5 DPs. So it really helps to build that rep and have a list of people that you might potentially work with. Some other people that you might have to build relationships with are channels, distributors, sales agents. And the way you do this is by going to film festivals. You go to film markets, you go to film festivals here in South Africa, like the Jozi Film Festival, the Durban Film Festival, MIP Africa. You start building relationships. You build relationships with like other producers, other even bigger producers. Sometimes you can network with your peers. Sometimes you can network with like younger people. Sometimes you can network with like people that are on the same level as you, because you get to share information, you share templates, you share budgets. I have a lot of friends that are also producers, and we always share information amongst each other. Okay, so next thing you're gonna have to do is you need to learn about financial management. Okay, you're gonna have to learn about financial practices, budgeting, tracking expenses, managing cash flow, revenue streams. You need to learn about content licensing, how you're going to make money. You need to know what your burn rate is. Like if you're going to run a company, how much expenses do you need? How much money do you need a month to run that company? Let's just say your company needs 50K a month in order to pay all the bills, pay everyone and all that stuff. Now you know, okay, cool. If you need 50K a month to pay people, then pay yourself and pay your salary, you're going to need to make way more money and actually save so that you have like a runway for your business. So maybe you have 150K always in your bank account so that you always, you can pay salaries for the next 3 months. Sometimes it's better to even have like like cash flow for like 6 months. But I know it's very hard if you're still starting out, so, but it's just something that you just need to do. You need to know what your burn rate is, because you pay for software, you license software, you're paying for so many things. Like running a production company is very financially like intense. So maybe if you're starting out by yourself, maybe your burn rate is not 50K, maybe it's 10K, maybe it's 15K. But whatever that number is, while you're still by yourself, you need to know what that number is, and then it'll help you determine how you work in terms of like getting sales, marketing your business, getting projects, and how to charge projects. But yeah, that's a very good number to know. You need to know what your burn rate is. Okay, like how much you need to pay yourself and pay for all the things that you need for your company. The next thing is you're gonna have to develop marketing and branding for your company. You need to obviously have a name. I think once you know what your niche is, you can be able to position your company as like a company that does music videos, and maybe you market to artists, because that's what you specialize in. Your company and all your branding, your logo, and your website appeals to artists, so that just helps you stand out and get more business and convert more clients. So, but yeah, I know this is a little bit intense, but I hope this really helps a lot. I mean, I guess it could have been a bit more detailed, but I thought this is just like very important in terms of running a company. There's so much that you have to do. There's so many multiple projects that you need to like run. You need to be pitching all the time. You need to be pitching TV shows. You need to be pitching commercials. You need to be pitching projects that are going to bring in money all the time. And while building the relationships, while focusing on the technical stuff, while even, trying to make money and trying to advertise, trying to do sales. So it's a lot. It's really, really difficult. But it is possible. And the only way to do it really, really well is to just practice and learn as much as you can, and just go to events and just learn more about how different companies run their things. Read variety articles, read articles about different production companies, go work for some production companies and see how they run things. But yeah, I think this is like a more detailed version of how to run a production company, how to develop projects, and how to do all these things that keep a company running. It's not just about being creative and shooting cool stuff. It's actually a lot of work. But yeah, if you like this content, please and you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the like button, the bell button, and drop a comment. Let me know what your favorite tip was, and let me know what else you'd like to see. If you listen to this on Spotify or iTunes, please rate us and comment, or share it with your friend, and hopefully they'll learn something. But yeah, this is just a more detailed version of how to run a modern production company. Just before I knock off, I'm just going to run it through the key points. So like I said, when you're running a production company, you got to decide, what do you want to specialize in? What's the niche? Is it ads, TV, advertising, music videos? You need to have a business plan. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to make money? How are you going to grow your company? How are you going to scale? How are you going to stay competitive? You need to build a team. You need to start thinking about hiring people. You need to invest in technology and equipment. You also need to establish relationships with like festivals, suppliers, clients, talent agencies, vendors, rental companies. You need to learn more about financial management. Maybe you might need to buy some books about running a business, in terms of managing your cash flow, expenses, accounting, SARS, taxes, all the stuff. You also need to think about the branding for your business. And you have to do all of the stuff while staying afloat and building your company. I've had the chance to build my company for the last 5 years, and I've learned so much. I mean, there's so much to learn beyond all the technical stuff and creative stuff. Anyway, I hope you guys like this content. I hope it's really helpful, and I will see you guys in the next video or the next podcast. Peace out.